What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Motorfest. So we have to look at the Porsche 718 Spider Fitted Edition, which was part of the Ultimate Edition of Motorfest, at least, a pre-order special vehicle, I guess you could say. But I would also guess this car may end up coming back later on in the future, and that is most likely going to be a big thing here. But obviously, like the other car that was the Civic Type R Fitted Edition, that car also had barely any upgrades, so normally, at least with a lot of these special type of vehicles. Now, this can also go for like Need for Speed in those games as well. Like you can see like special edition cars that you normally can't actually upgrade all that much. So I guess it would make sense, but I really do like the carbon fiber going around the back of this car. You can also see like the small like duck lip there on the back. That looks pretty cool. Also, guys, I have to admit, I really do like the way the livery looks on this vehicle. I also like the one that was on the Honda Civic, so I have to give them credit. Plus on this car, you do see like the fitted like small badge on the bottom. Next, like the carbon fiber pieces there as well. Plus like the vents there that are also painted. I think that's pink. That is indeed pink if you look at the mirror. Nice job there, bud. And of course, this vehicle is indeed a convertible, so at least you can see like the detail of the interior, which would be kind of sad if you could not. But then again, most games who have convertibles, you normally can't see the interior because it's open. But besides that, guys, I really do like the Caymans in general. Now, I have to ask this though. What is your favorite German-made manufacturer? Like, can it be Mercedes, Audi, Porsche? I really do want to know what you guys think in the comments below, even BMW. I do feel like a lot of people do like their own thing and or like different types of cars, but I think we can all agree Porsches are going to be gorgeous. Also, the hood is indeed carbon, which I'm not really surprised about considering, most of this car has a lot of carbon, like the front splitter, also like these side skirts and stuff too. But besides that though, guys, the Porsche here is obviously not going to have a lot of customization, at least compared to the regular counterpart of it. But besides all that though, let's go do an outside look of this vehicle right now and take this thing on a test drive. Man, it really is crazy, like, spawning outside in Motorfest, like, look at this atmosphere, guys. Like, you see, like, the beautiful, like, sun going down. What time is it, anyway? Let's, check the car. AK sunset. But regardless, though, it is a really nice atmosphere in this game, and obviously the gas prices are a bit cheaper than I thought here in Hawaii, but hey, that's going to be a big positive. So yes, the Porsche here is going to be a beautiful car, and I would probably say, guys, the biggest upgrade for most is most likely getting rid of that underglow, but for the purposes of this being like a special fitted vehicle, I guess I will leave it on there. I would probably say most people are probably not going to keep it, but man, does this car look really nice. I do love the way the livery looks with like the lighting also being white. It looks insanely nice with that color setup, and surprisingly the pink kind of does fit the car, and it's most likely going to be tied into like the bright colors of that livery. But let's go take a listen to that engine and see how this thing actually sounds. And then, of course, going over to the interior view of the Porsche here, guys, I really do love the way the interiors in the cars in this game look. Like, obviously, the Crew 2 did look insanely good, but I really do feel like Motorfest is even better with its detail and, like, the overall look of it. This can also come down to, like, the new engine and stuff, but you really can't see, like, the numbers and or, like, the letters on, like, the buttons and stuff, which is awesome. Like, you can even see, like, the up and down arrows on the steering wheel. That is dope, and the fact that I've been in one of these cars in real life and looking at this here really does make this even that much more special. So it is currently nighttime, guys, and I did want to actually look at this car here at night with like the underglow and like the livery, and I have to admit, this thing is looking pretty insane, but we need to go drive it now, so let's see how this thing does actually do here. Funnily enough, I did actually record like 2 minutes of audio before and my mic was off. Gotta love that. But I do want to see what this car can do, guys, so I'm going to take it on this road here for a bit. Then I'm most likely going to jump onto this highway coming up so I can see what it can do, but this thing is indeed going to be a 6-speed, and it is a street tier 2 vehicle if you are wondering, so I am running basically blue and or purple parts on it. I do not have a full set of anything yet. Hopefully soon. Ooh, there's the highway. Let's jump onto there. So now that we're on the highway, guys, I do want to see what the top speed of the Fitted Edition actually is. So I'm sure a lot of players have noticed something about Motorfest compared to the Crew 2, and that is going to be due to the fact that, yes, the cars are not going to be as quick as before and or have like as high of a top speed. So Some vehicles varied from like a crazy of like 255 or like 265. So to be honest, I'm kind of relieved a lot of the vehicles aren't as fast as before. I really do feel like that was probably like one of the best ways to do it, and seeing how all the cars are most likely a bit more balanced now is by far most likely one of the better ways to do it. But let's see what I can get this Porsche to here with regular nitrous for that matter. So 6th gear, pushing it to around 236 miles an hour. Did I just hear thunder? Funnily enough, I did test out the Liberty Walk Toyota Supra. That car also hit around 235, so having a similar top speed on many of these vehicles really is going to make things interesting because, well, every car is going to be insanely similar. Now we don't have like one car dominating the class, which, to be honest, I would say, what are you doing, dude? You good? Anyone else notice how the AI basically turned like U-turns in the middle of the road and then like go back into that said lane? But nonetheless though, guys, let's go jump into a race and see how the 718 performs. So now jumping into the staying ahead event here with the 718 Cayman. Kind of funny how I always pick these events and or try to race the AI, trying to see if I am faster than them, which sometimes works and sometimes does not. Overall, first impressions of this car, guys, it's way better than I thought. So a lot of the street vehicles in the game I've driven so far actually handle very well on base pro settings, and I would even say to a certain extent you most likely don't even have to change them if you don't want to. Like, sure, if you do want to have like the best possible like turning and or I guess grip you could say for like a summit, then sure, probably adjusting them a bit might be a great idea. But for me, guys, I have been finding just regular base pro settings on these cars seems to be doing great. And my goodness, the 718 Spider seems to be awesome around these corners. Like, for example, doing 200, hitting the brakes here, you guys will see this car grip. It doesn't slide and or like lose itself like some cars do, and I really do love the handling model in Motorfest. Like, it is so much better than how the Crew 2 was, and I really do feel like in some ways it's not even close. But I'm also wondering at the same time how a nitrochemist set is going to affect these cars and or how much faster they might actually be. So the reason why I do mention that is, well, a lot of the vehicles, as I did mention before, guys, has a very similar top speed to each other. So out of all of the street tier 2 vehicles I've driven so far, all of them seem to do around 240 or so miles an hour. I have not driven one that's faster, but then again, I've only driven like 4 or 5 of the cars so far. So from what I have seen so far, many of them don't seem to be insanely quick, at least compared to before. And to be honest, I would say that's probably one of the best ways they could have done this. Like, having all of the street cars being a similar top speed is definitely going to help balancing, but at the same time, it's also going to make this class that much more interesting because now you can use different cars in like summits. And I would say if you're not trying to chase like world records, you can easily get into platinum with like basically many of these street cars compared to before. Like, for example, guys, on the Crew 2, you basically had to use like one car and or a few, and many of the vehicles basically were deemed useless because of how slow they were and or like the way they handled. But on Motorfest, guys, that's definitely not going to be the case here. Like, even the Fitted Edition here is, of course, part of the Ultimate, which could be added in the future. I really don't think it's going to be seen for a while, but if they do add this vehicle into the game, though, you're most likely going to like it. And if you did want to have the regular 718 Cayman, I wouldn't say they're going to be that much different. The big thing about this car is obviously like the livery, and you know, it does say fitted on the front, so the livery is by far going to be like the biggest thing about this car that most likely sets it apart. But I really do love the way this thing does handle, and I haven't really tested out the regular 718 yet, so I can't really judge saying this car is better than that one. But if I had to guess, guys, they're most likely going to be insanely similar because it is exactly the same car. The biggest thing, though, what kind of turn was that? No matter what you do to that car, you most likely can't make it look like this one, so it is going to make this car feel a lot more special. But I would like to know your thoughts on the 718 Fitted Edition in the comments below. And as always, guys, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more insight.